good idea to have one and not leave the guys in charge and behind. Basically, every application does its own termination. There could be some faulty implementation of SSL flying around using some old SSL library or something like that.Maybe, I'm not sure, just guessing here.
Would you ever recommend going without a network firewall?
No.
And why would you recommend going without a web application firewall?
I'm not recommending it because not having a web application firewall would start here.
I actually heard that Microsoft doesn't have their web servers behind a network firewall.
Yeah, the firewall wouldn't hold the traffic, basically. It's too much traffic. They've got gigabits flowing in. Maybe they don't want to spend the money as well. So.
It sounds like if you're really careful how you configure your servers, then you could get away with not having network firewall.
You could get. It depends on you. It's always about. It's not about technology most of the time. It's about the people and how committed they are to security. You can drive your car without doors, but it's probably not a good idea.
You can do it with kind of the architecture. I can see a web server with just port 80 in hardened, just sitting in. You don't need a firewall. Firewall is just restricting all other ports other than 80 or 449. So if you can achieve it in the box and push it out and still keep your database inside, then that would be one architecture to put that in.
Okay, I have to speed up a little because it's already 8:45 and I think I've got only 45 minutes. So best practices basically in operation introduction is have a look in the infrastructure. So centralized or decentralized infrastructure, central proxy application, host-based, plugin approach, whatever you like. Do you want to virtualize your application firewall? You can, if you like. But have a look at performance and configuration of the virtualizing infrastructure as well. So make sure they have enough resources available if they need it. Then performance, gigabits per second throughput on hardware does actually not matter. Most of the time it's requests processed per second, simultaneous users basically on the application. And think of peak load times, like pre-Christmas, and plan for that ahead as well. Then organizational aspects, security policies. Really don't try to change any security policies which are already in place. It's hard work and it just ends up in a lot of discussions you don't want, and they don't help you implementing an application firewall. And suggest a new job position, basically get a new guy in. This is one guy we are suggesting in the paper, and web application manager. He has the one-off task basically of commissioning a web application firewall. He should have in-depth knowledge of the application capabilities, not just the one he buys, actually all of them if possible. Alarm and error management is very important. Log management as well, if you do central logging. And he should do the changes to the rule set. One guy in charge, basically. And he should also do the talking to the development departments. They should be big buddies, actually. They aren't to begin with, because it's some guy basically trying to get security in, and he's annoying them somehow. But if they have tools which are working together, like source code analysis tools, which is able to export rules for an application firewall, they probably make their lives easier. So, what are the steps in the introduction of an application firewall? Step one is basically define all the people responsible. Ideally have a web application manager for that. Implement the baseline security. Most of the time is a lot of blacklisting using vendor signatures. Monitor false positives and get rid of them. It's really important. Just use the logging mode. And step three, just look at your prioritized list of all the applications which need to be secured. And we've got a checklist as an appendix on the paper, which helps you to prioritize. You just get points basically out and sum them up and say, well, okay, this is the first one we should do. And go through that.
Why would you do more than baseline?
Sorry?
Why would you do more than baseline?
Yeah. Because it depends on how secure you want to be. If you don't want to, if you don't care about security, maybe baseline is too much for you. if you dependent on the revenue of the company, of the application, or the whole company is dependent on that, you probably
Baseline solves my problem.
not always.
No, what if it does?
Then you're fine probably if it solves your problem. Yeah. But most of the I've never seen an implementation where baseline protection was enough. So have a look at it. Just don't shut your eyes. Run around open-minded.
I can see kind of baseline is required, but especially when you have multiple applications developed in multiple technologies with multiple risk levels, it's kind of
You've got a lot of work implementing that. And then first step, just walk through the list you made and finish it. So appendices for the paper were the checklet to define accessibility of the web application. Then job descriptions for the new guys, so they're actually 3. It's the web application platform manager. He's only needed in really complex big environments because he's the guy overlooking the whole security from a web application point of view. And then the web application manager itself could be per application even. Sometimes it is a project manager, but project managers have to grow into that because they need to be able to talk really technical stuff with their developers and get the rules out and implement the rules. It's not up to the developer getting the rules basically into the web application firewall. It's up to the web application manager. And you can have a application manager as well, which is interacting with the web application manager. Most of the time, this guy is actually the project manager. He doesn't know technical stuff about that, but he knows that he needs some web application firewall protection somehow in his application. And he can basically tunnel information from the developers to the web application manager guy. So where to find the whole thing? It's on the Owasp wiki, of course, and you can download it as a PDF, and I think it's not automatically generated out of the wiki page. So we started with a paper actually in German and put that online, and then I presented that paper on Owasp Europe early that year, and we got a translation out. And after finishing that translation, now it's paper version 1.2 or something like that, we set up the wiki page so everybody who wants to contribute can contribute. Yeah, I'm done. So that's it. So if you have any further questions, just talk to me after.